Oh, mates, we're back. We are back with episode 2 of the Funnel Review. Maybe this will become a thing. But anyway, as you probably know if you watch episode 1, I pretty much every single day review funnels myself, just because I like to. But today we're going to review Shown Media. These guys are fucking killers in what they do, in their creative strategies and ad spend and everything like that. I recently spoke to Matt, the founder, got on a call for some direction, etc. Super cool guys, taking over kind of this side of things. I actually did a bit of a funnel review like before we spoke, just went through what they're doing, etc. But I also think, it'd be cool. It's helpful for everyone to see this type of thing and the process and what goes through, like, at least my mind when I'm assessing and looking at a brand and the funnel. So we can actually just go through the website. I think the website is fucking sick. These guys done it really, really well. I love this. There's no... Yeah, that's what I remember. There's no kind of like... Don't know if you guys can hear the dog outside. Let's shut this window. Shut the fuck up. So there's no stereotypical type VSL, above the fold, but it's not to say it's needed. It's what everyone does, but not always what everyone does is the thing to do. But I do think, just from knowing this offer now a bit more, I do think it would be very helpful. But yeah, that's one little aspect here. Trusted by these brands, really cool. We only do two things and we are the best at them. I like that type of statement, that type of confidence, and just positioning yourselves. If you listen to a lot of my stuff, I think positioning is very important. This comes in many forms, but literally just your copy and your statements is one way to do it. We are the best. Simple. Creating powerful ads that convert, media buying on TikTok, Google, and Facebook. Cool. Examples of our best performing ads. I think this is really fucking cool. There's so many there. You can never have enough proof, in my opinion. That you've got your offer. What's the offer? What's the guarantee? What's the proof? What's the price? All of these kind of four staples. So having this type of proof is great. Here is how we scale your brand. Launch meeting, creative strategy, send us your product, content creation, results start pouring in. I think this is the process aspect. I could be wrong, it might be further down. But I know one thing from speaking to Matt is that a lot of people get on calls and are like, so what's your guys' process? Like, how does it actually work step by step? And I feel like if this is the process, launch meeting and this, number one, people are just really not going to read that. It's like, it's not really what I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't get it. So I'll just get on a call. If I'm a brand, I'll just get on a call and ask them that question, right? Then again, if a VSL was to be added, an aspect of the VSL, you don't want to make it boring. It has to be about them. It has to be, people don't watch all VSLs a lot and they skip and stuff like that. So you have to keep it, hold attention, which these guys are fucking good at anyway. But you could talk about processes and things in like that. Or it could come after you booked a call, right? Some of our recent client success stories. We profitably grew Simple Cinnamons ad spend from this to this year. So with that, I think, look, this is nuance, guys. Like, just tiny things for me. But everyone knows, like, when we use titles, say if you ever read like long sales letter copy, it's always kind of the title is, we did this and this to achieve this whilst doing this or without doing this, and I feel that's important with stuff like this because we profitably grew from this to this, but what else? Because it's all well and good, we spent more, but like, profitably grew in what way? Did you make $10 more in that year? Do you know what I mean? And so there's nuance to it. So it's like maybe breaking that down and adding whilst keeping return on ad spend at X and keeping, cost per acquisition X, right? Do you see what I'm saying? A bit of context. I think the same here. We cut plan average acquisition cost from 110, so that's really dope. And I would add there, whilst keeping return on ad spend X and Y. That's what people want to understand. Not your average agency, we're your partner. I like that. Meet the founders, meet our team. Cool. I mean, most people won't really get down to all this, but it's kind of ticking the boxes. And then obviously, guys, we've got book a call. Okay, so we're done. We're like, yeah, ready to book a call. So we see this Calendly. Cool. Right. I think this is really cool as well, guys. Schedule your call today. I think for me, it's like I nearly always try and go with apply, book a call and apply today. That messaging is not just a free strategy type call. Stop leaving money on the table, book your call today, and let's create ads that convert, scale, and set your brand up for success. Nice. In order to qualify, operate an e-commerce business. Cool. Sustain a 2 to 3x growth. So for me, that's kind of vague. Like 2 to 3x growth in what time? Like over the last 3 months? Or so we have to sustain that over a few years? Like when is that? And then I'm also thinking as well, does that mean you don't work with brands who have a stagnant period? And that, because people, when they come to use an expert like Show Media, they're probably in a bad patch. They're not going to come always if they're sustaining a 2 to 3x growth on a consistent basis. Because if they're doing that, it's like, why would we really? There's not as much chance to go outside and get help. A lot more people, I would imagine, I could be wrong, that they book the call because they've got themselves into a position of stagnancy. They've plateaued. They need help. So that one's quite vague to me. And then in order to qualify, watch our portfolio. The thing is with this, guys, is it's just looking at ads. Now that's helpful just because it's like, it's cool. That would be cool for my brand. But you've got to think about this, like watching our portfolio, what is that going to actually do for the prospect? What's it going to help them with? Because it's not custom to them, it's just examples. Do you know what I mean? It's like me saying, before you book a call with me and Close and Paid, listen to our testimonials. I would imagine no one's going to go through all those testimonials and just listen to them. A lot of testimonials can be, not that mine are, but they can be fake, and they don't always paint a whole picture. Everyone knows that. So when people look at this portfolio and see the ads, it's like, cool, but there's a lot more behind them. There's a lot more context there that I'm not getting, So that's that. And then look, yes, let's book a call. Select it. What's going on? Okay, again. Now let's break this down. Perfect. Name, email, normal. What is your brand website? Cool, I guess that's needed. What are you currently struggling with in your paid ad creatives? I think it's a really good fucking question, because obviously, put it like this. You offer a service, you offer a solution. Your solution inherently fixes X number of problems, right? It might, not just one, it could fix all of these. It could fix these 4 major ones and these 2 minor ones, right? That's what your solution does. And so for me, in this scenario, we can make it really specific here. Instead of, because, if you give people room to write, they're nearly always not going to give you full context or great answers. People, when they're filling out forms and shit, they just want to be over and done with it, right? And so these, see these checkered boxes here, they're a really good option, because It's easier. And so what are you currently struggling with in your paid ad creatives? Put all of those problems that you solve, not good return on ad spend, cost per acquisition is too high, can't make creatives at volume, all of the problems you solve there, and people can select multiple. And why is that good, guys? Well, because when they come to the call, their fucking problems, right? And when you come to the pitch in your call, you're able to then make it very directed at them, whoever's filling in the form. It's very custom in that sense, right? I see a lot of brands, every pitch they do is basically the same pitch, but the power, like the pitch can be very powerful if it's customized, and that doesn't mean creating something like doing a whole lot of work for it, right? But it's making it solution orientated towards that person rather than just more general, right? What is your current monthly ad spend on paid social? I guess I would just put across all paid socials. Or you might even want to ask a question, which platforms do you currently spend money on? One question. And then what is your current monthly ad spend across those socials? I would also say, and I'm not sure with show media, but like just generally as well with brands, like what people tend to do is they have all these options, but they also know they don't work with, like, let's say the top one, but then they allow those people to still go through. I've just done a video about this, but they allow those people to go through and book on a call, when in reality it's just kind of wasting time because we don't work with brands who do less than this, So if you watch my video, use Calendly routing. And so what happens in that sense is if they click this, they fill out everything else and they click schedule, it doesn't actually allow them to schedule the call, and it goes to like a different page and says, hey, maybe now is not the right time. We don't work with brands who are doing less than X revenue. If you think we've made a mistake, please click here. Alternatively, download this free resource, something like that. So you're not like just pissing people off. Okay, and then next, feel free to share anything that will help prepare for our meeting. Too open-ended for me, and bear in mind, this is just my opinion, but you have to assume everyone is stupid. Treat everyone filling out your form like a 5-year-old. So feel free to share anything that will help prepare for me. I don't fucking know. I wouldn't know. I don't know. Give people help. Like what? What would help prepare? Because you guys know, like, what is going to really help you as shown media prepare for your call? Because it's more about you guys understanding the prospect. It's more about you guys deciding and qualifying and understanding them deeply enough so that you can have like a very constructive call on the closer call, right? So I'd again maybe put checkboxes, or you might even want to say, something comes to mind like, please paste your 5 or your 10 best performing ad sets below, right? Because that's going to, like, as a paid social agency, it's going to be very helpful to understand what's worked for them before. Why is it not currently working now? A lot of kind of homework and stuff to do before the actual main call. But I would guess, guys, and I see this a lot, that these types of questions never get a substantial response that is actually helpful. Do you know what I mean? And with Calendly forms, or any forms in particular, you've got to understand that the more questions you ask, the more friction you place. The more friction you place, the less calls you're going to get, right? Which is fine, because we want to qualify most of the time and stuff. But if you're going to create friction, don't do it with needless questions. So ask yourself, is this question absolutely necessary? If we look back at all the last 20 people who have booked, did we get good responses there? Did it help us in the call? If not, we need to change the question. We want to be using this digital real estate, this space here, as optimally as possible. if that's a fucking thing. Preferred phone number. What is your current monthly revenue? Where are you driving this from? Cool. I think it's definitely necessary. I tend to always say, don't ever have two questions in one. Right? Just because when you ask people two questions, you generally just don't get a good one answer. You get a shitty two answers. Right? But I think that would probably work anyway. Although I believe this question also is not essential. It doesn't have a star, which means it's just kind of a throwaway. And we're saying, hey, this really doesn't mean anything to us. It doesn't matter if you don't fill it in, But to me, and I'm not an expert on paid media and stuff, but I would imagine this is fucking important, What is your X account? If you have one, maybe a throwaway question. And then schedule event. Okay, so now let's just fill it in. Let's just do this. Apologies, Matt and co. www.billada.com. What are you currently struggling with? ROAS, less than that. I'm not going to fill that in because there's no star there, so it's obviously not needed. Let's just do funnel hacking. What is your currently revenue? Oh, we don't need to fill it in. What is your currently? Don't have to fill it in. Don't fill it in. Show the event. So I'm doing this because I don't know what comes next. But let's see, because this is important. If you've watched my last video, okay. Oh, I have seen this before. Congrats on booking a call. We'll come to our call prepared. Having done research on your brand, your current ads, and your competition, it's important that you also come prepared to meet with us. I like that. Well, I like that it puts importance on them to come prepared. Watch the videos in a portfolio. So we've already asked them to do this. I think you can repeat stuff to people. There's no problem with that because humans are humans. You have to fucking keep drilling shit into their head. But for me, those videos in our portfolio are not really going to help me. It feels like you're asking me to do homework without it really helping me. Do you know what I mean? And people don't want to do homework. They've done this all, they've gone through the website, they've done all these forms, blah, 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 and now they've got all this. You probably get people not doing it. At the same time, I know from speaking with Matt, I think we can also improve, our own preparation in coming to those calls, for sure. With AI nowadays, ChatGPT, doing some research, getting your assistants to do things, go and look at their brand, pull their creatives, doing that for every single person, okay? And if you remember, the question on the Calendly form that kind of said, what are you spending on paid socials? So for me, there's this big element of, we can all agree, no doubt, that if someone chose the top two options, like I spend $1 million or 5 million on paid social, I'm sure we'd all agree that those type of people, when they fill that out, they're the people we need to spend more time on. We need to invest a bit more time into that preparation and creating and customization and tailor stuff to them and do research, all of that, because they're the people we want to work with, right? So those Calendly forms we can also use in that sense, right? Be prepared for our call. Watch the videos of the portfolio. Read our testimonials below. Check in with your business partner or any other decision maker about working with us. Have them attend our call. Yeah, I quite like that. I think these two are kind of a bit throwaway. So you understand the types of ads we make. I'm sure they already know that. We're just repeating it. So it's a bit of space taken up. Read our testimonials below. I think I would be like, I'm sure they would already do it here. Read our testimonials below. I think I'd put something like, go into your emails, click accept, so the calendar is so it's on your calendar type thing. I'd be saying, please come to the call on your laptop in a quiet space, preferably in an office. Please do not be driving after we had a bad incident last year. I would probably also have, like, at this point as well, I've not seen any video. There's no explanation of these things. And I know, Matt, you were saying about the process and people want to understand it. I think here's like one of the best fucking places to do that. Congrats on booking your call. Boom, video. You, Matt, introducing yourself. Get people warmed up to you. I know they already are warmed up because they follow you on Twitter, they see your tweets, blah, 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 value, and then they book a call. Cool. But for the people who aren't, this is a good space to do it. Video testimonial tabs. I think for me, what I would put is, because this is impressive. What results did you get for tabs? You had those great graphics on the website that needed a tiny change, but do that here as well. Otherwise, it's just people talking, and people need visual and text. Some messages we've collected from our 20 plus clients. I mean, this is cool. You can never have enough proof, but people ain't going to read it, unfortunately. Questions we get a lot. Do you have a monthly commitment? 3-month call. How long is your lead time? Do you work? Is there anything about price here? So I don't know, maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm the 5-year-old. I haven't seen anything about price here. 5 more properties. Oh, that's fine. So now the call's booked, right? But I at this point in time, I'm also like, I don't know about price. People want to understand that, even if it's a range. We work from this up to here and everything in between. And this is prime real estate to give more context here, to start the pre-education. Pre-education is fucking massive. We want to get people to a certain level so that first call is easier. Okay? And I think at the end of the day, guys, like, you probably, if you watch my other videos, I am a massive fan at this stage, and Notion's great, but having this all feels like homework. And what's better than that is making them feel like it's getting the same type of stuff, but not making it feel like homework. And so having a thank you page here that has a quiz on it. So take this quiz to figure out the best TikTok strategy to use for your brand, right? Something that they feel like, okay, if I fill this in, I'm actually going to get value from it, right? And then when they fill it in, it's going to actually ask them questions and get deeper, get more discovery, get more data about them on top of Calendly, right? But then also start to qualify, right? Then when they finish the quiz, that will go to, the quiz is more important, but when they finish it, then it will go to a video that they can watch, right? And all of this, guys, just helps you pitch and custom your closer calls. Instead of them being general discovery, just chatting, they become, we already know everything. Here's what we're going to suggest as a solution, And there's another bonus part here. It's like when you collect all of that type of data and do your research, you're able to make, so, we say, watch these testimonials, look at the portfolio. People want to see stuff that's more relatable to them. So if there's loads of stuff going on, like, I don't know. But what's really cool is if they fill out this form and the quiz, and now they're in e-com and they sell supplements and they're doing this amount of revenue and this is their problem. Imagine you've got a client where that's the same case and you've worked with them that exact thing before. Send them the broken down case study of that work with that brand. Now it just feels like, oh, cool, these are the guys to choose, So yeah, party people, that's me over and out.